Hello everyone, welcome to Free Range Diva. Thank you so much for stopping by today because today's video is going to be about food. As you know, when it comes to good health and well-being, it all begins with food. So this video is going to be directed at those of you who want to get more whole food, homemade, nutritious meals on the table, but don't have a lot of time. So let's jump into it. So today I have a quick, easy, one-pan meal for you. It came from this All Recipes, One-Pan Recipes cookbook. And this particular recipe is a sheet pan recipe. It's called their harissa chicken dinner. Now, the one thing that is really good about this book, and the one thing that I think most of you are going to appreciate, is that all of these recipes are not only easy, but they're easy to modify so that they can be adapted to what you happen to have on hand instead of having to run off to the store to get harissa sauce, for example. So I have a new doctor, and she put me on this very restricted diet, and it eliminated pretty much most of the things that I like to eat. Garlic, onion, cooked tomatoes, peppers, chocolate. It's extensive. So I'm going to talk more about that in an upcoming video about the swaps that I've had to make in order to be able to still get a variety of foods into my diet without the acid. It is very easy to make low acid substitutes to this particular recipe, which you'll see when I start cooking it. It's very easy to modify these recipes with the spices that you have on hand, with herbs that you have on hand. And usually it's going to end up tasting well because you're using foods that you like and that you use all the time. So this recipe has a lot of vegetables in it, and they're roasted. So one way that's a time saver, you can chop and assemble these vegetables ahead of time, and then when you're ready, just add the chicken to them and put them in the oven. Or you can assemble the whole dish ahead of time. One of the things that I modified in the original dish was the protein. The dish used chicken thighs, and I wanted to use some chicken breasts that I had around. So I had to adjust the temperature and cooking times to accommodate the chicken breasts. And indeed, I ended up putting the vegetables in the oven first and letting them cook for about 20-30 minutes. And then I added the chicken on top so that it wouldn't overcook. Because if you're using a protein like a chicken thigh, then yeah, you can cook that at a high temperature for an hour and you'll be fine. Not so much breasts, especially boneless and skinless breasts. And one additional thing I will say about roasting is that it improves the flavor of any vegetable that you choose to roast. Even a bland vegetable like the cauliflower, which was used in this recipe, that cauliflower ended up tasting so good. I don't know why, it's the magic of roasting, I guess. Because, like I'll eat cauliflower, but it's not must-eat veggie for me. I prefer green leafies, actually. But it's good to get a variety in your diet, and that's what I was trying to do with this recipe. So anyway, enough chit-chat. Let me just take you down to the kitchen, and I will show you what I made. The one-pan harissa chicken dinner without the harissa. Here we go. So this is the recipe that was my inspiration. It's a sheet pan harissa chicken dinner. I'm adapting it because I don't have harissa, and even if I did, I couldn't eat it because I'm on a low acid diet. And so it's going to start by chopping, getting these vegetables ready to roast. Got carrots, cauliflower, and these are fingerling potatoes. So first we're going to chop those up. So instead of the harissa seasoning, I'm going to be using za'atar seasoning. If you don't have that, you can also try something like this. This is Italian seasoning. Either of these would work great. And then I'm also going to put a little bit of cumin in there because that will also complement the za'atar and give it a little bit of that more exotic flavor that this wants. About a half a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of the za'atar, about half a teaspoon of salt, and a similar amount of white peppers, black pepper. And then we're going to mix this up with a generous amount of olive oil. I can't use any kind of citrus, but this would be great with lemon juice or even orange juice. I'm going to cook the vegetables first for about 20 minutes before I add the chicken because I'm using chicken breast. So we're going to put this on a sheet pan and then roast it for 20 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 25 minutes and I just took it out. I'm ready to add the chicken to it. So let's do that now. I have these two medium-sized chicken breasts that have been seasoned with salt, pepper, and more of the za'atar. Just going to add these to the top. I'll then put this back in the oven, and at 400 degrees, we'll let it go for about 30 minutes because of the size. These are pretty big, so anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes should do it at that temperature. Oh, and the chicken breasts also have olive oil on them as well. Ow. While that's cooking, I wanted to show you one other thing. This is vegetable broth, homemade. I've been simmering this on the stove for hours. So I'm just going to let that cool, and once it cools, I'll put it into jars, set it aside in the refrigerator, and over the course of the week, I'll use it as a base for beans I'm going to be making, rice, as well as vegetables, daily vegetables. It just adds a nice base layer of flavor. You can even drink it. It tastes great. And it's made from scraps, vegetable scraps that I've used over the course of the weeks. I just put them in the freezer, and when I have a big bag full, I put them in a pot, add a lot of water, and simmer it all day long until I get that nice rich broth. Last thing I want to do is put some parsley on here, just for the color. And then we'll let this sit for about 10 or 15 minutes just to let the juices reabsorb. It's really too hot to eat right now, but oh, the smell. It just smells really good. And I cooked the chicken at 400 degrees until it reached a temperature of about 165. And as it sits and starts to cool, it will continue to cook a little bit, so it should be nice and tender. And that took 30 minutes, a full 30 minutes to get to that temperature. Check this out. There you go, nice and juicy. Perfectly cooked. So I hope it tastes as good as it looks and as it smells. But yeah, this is a complete meal right here. Potatoes, cauliflower, carrots, and chicken. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to make nourishing meals for yourself and your family, without wearing yourself out at the end of a long, stressful day, then give this recipe a try. And you can adapt it anyway. In fact, one of the things that's nice about this cookbook is that some of the recipes also have adaptations right here. So here, for example, this is a Greek flank steak and veggie salad right here. But up here along the top, you've got 3 ways that you can adapt this recipe: a Mexican steak and veggie salad, flank steak and veggie tacos or pitas, and broiled shrimp and veggie salad. So don't be afraid to try something new and modify it for whatever you have, because the whole point is to get really good food on the table, not stress yourself out trying to figure out this ingredient or that ingredient or what to do with this or that. Because at the end of a long, stressful day, you deserve to treat yourself to a satisfying, delicious, nourishing, homemade meal. And with that, I'm going to let you go. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you really liked it, then consider sharing it with your friends. And if you want to see more from this free-range diva, then please consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing here at the channel. All right, everybody, thanks again. I really appreciate you watching. And until I see you in my next video, I'm just going to wish you a wonderful day, wonderful week. Take good care of yourselves, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye.